I'm Megan Buell. Welcome to another edition of our safety segment. Today I'm with Special Agent James Cotter. James is over the cyber operations for the Office of Homeland Security. So James, you have a big job with the Office of Homeland Security, and I know that you had a pretty large conference that you put on here back in May that dealt with a lot of the operations when it comes to cybersecurity. Can you tell me a little bit about the focus of the conference and some of the key initiatives that came out of that conference?
Yeah, this year was the 6th year that we've hosted it at MTSU, and this year's focus was, the theme was Through Hackers' Eyes. So we basically want to present to the audience what our adversaries or criminals are doing and what kind of things they look for in social media or in corporate websites, that kind of thing, and how to exploit it.
So I understand, I heard that you had actually hackers there.
Yes.
That were hacking into systems, right? I mean, they weren't hacking into actual systems, but showing how easy and how vulnerable people can be.
Yes. Yeah, we had a company come from another state that had a server at their corporation, and they displayed on screen what it looked like from a hacker's perspective, and then also what, as a victim, what it looked like on their network.
That's pretty amazing.
They could see that they would show what the hacker's doing, and then on the other screen, up on the big screen, would show what the victim could not see and what they were not able to do as a result of their actions.
Well, we know daily that there are cyber attacks global, and we are not immune anymore to these attacks. I know that the state of Tennessee spends hundreds of thousands of dollars on security measures through our STS programs. And can you give people some tips? What can you do to kind of keep yourself safe from being attacked?
One of the biggest initiatives out there is through the Federal Department of Homeland Security is Think Before You Click, is actually taking the time, not being in a rush, and just look at what it is like if it's an email with an attachment, is evaluating who is it from, is it somebody that I know,
right.
Is this something that this person would send me, and then you can do little things like hover over the link and see if it's actually going where it says it's supposed to go. Another thing that is real big is social engineering, is people's use of social media, what they put out to the public about themselves. And a lot of people share way too much as far as their personal information. And they use that information against, hackers or criminals would use that information against somebody or a corporation based off of all that.
Now, this conference that you had at MTSU, I understand your attendance has grown, and this year you had a pretty outstanding number of attendees. I also know you had a lot of stakeholders that came in. So tell me how many people attended this and what your stakeholders look like that, of course, participated in this conference.
Yeah, this year we were almost 400 attendees, and it ranged from all the critical infrastructure sectors. So we had utilities from water, like water treatments, the electric power generation, transportation, banking, financial institutions was heavily represented this year.
Wow, yeah.
And then some from the military, state and local government. We had some federal partners there with us, and then private industry, the private sector. So we reached out. It's not specifically limited to just government. It's open to all stakeholders that would be in the IT field.
Wow. And you say water, electric. People don't realize that these companies operate off of pretty incredible systems, and these systems are very vulnerable for attacks.
Yeah, most of them run on an industrial control system, which is connected to the web in some form or fashion. So this year we focused on what we're seeing across the globe, things like what happened in Ukraine where the attacks were against their electric grid.
Right.
So we focused on that from a hacker perspective of the kind of things that they would look for to carry out this kind of an attack, and to just bring awareness. And that's our real main goal for the conference, is to bring training and awareness to a lot of the industries that are not able to go and get this kind of training, especially smaller institutions like the banking industry, where maybe they only have a dozen branches, so they can't afford like some of the larger ones to send people to other states or other places to get training. So we bring in hopefully some quality training that, and the biggest thing is that it's something they can take back with them that day.
Well, good deal. So coming down the pike, what are you looking at as far as getting that information out there about cybersecurity?
We're partnering with several local organizations to hopefully do some like public service announcements,
Okay.
and then hopefully continue with these type of events where we can bring in some experts to talk about specific topics a little bit more.
Great. All right. Thank you.